how much it's actually upgraded.
Yeah.
Spoilers. 0.
All right, let's talk about the MSQ.
Oh, thank God.
All right, we're going to try to do this as spoiler-free as possible, but if
We're still going to spoil stuff.
there's going to be certain big overarching plot points that we're going to talk about. So if you have not done it and you don't want to be spoiled on it, you may want to consider bailing out now. We're still gonna try. I mean, we're not lifting the spoiler embargo, but we've definitely got to talk about it because
it was the only interesting thing about this patch.
I tend to agree. So the first half of the MSQ, we're still in Doma, and
how they managed to.
But you're 100. You need to bang the dome and children to replenish. Hashtag bang it.
God damn it!
There are
Frumpy
some
Raccoon.
places a bang mage will not go, Frumpy. Little children is one of them. Moderately sized children. No, let's not go there.
Okay, so the MSQ literally starts off with Gosetsu getting a bath from Yatsuyu. You know how close I was to just hitting the escape button and skipping every fucking cutscene?
I don't blame you.
And it did not help that exactly where that story went to, like when he mentioned there was like some fruit that, I missed this fruit from my hometown.
A persimmon.
Yeah, and then suddenly she's gone. Oh my god, where did she go? To get the fucking fruit, you moron.
Of course. So
we could have never predicted that.
Yeah. So
chasing her around.
You didn't want to be in a room with large naked Gosetsu, this glistening hard ass nipples. Mm-hmm.
Ballin'. Stop it. What are you doing?
Just think of a Gosetsu.
That's somewhere a bang mage will go.
Good God. Yeah. So you end up chasing Yotsuyu around for quite a bit. The first day of trying to do the red chocobos was pretty hilarious.
That was pretty good.
Hold on, before we jump too far ahead, because I was
too far. That was the first thing that you do.
No.
Red chocobos was actually the evil.
Oh, it was. That was
you're right.
The mole bat.
You're right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I got confused because apparently every quest took place at this little section, this little corner of that map. Every single fucking quest line ended up taking you there at some point.
Yeah.
Look, what I'm really upset with is it could have been a really, I think, cool and sort of tortured moment for Yatsuyu when she comes up to this village that she was essentially this terrible, terrible person to, and they're all like, oh shit, she's back, Heian, you better fucking deal with her. And then in a split second, because one little girl is like, oh no, let's forgive her, everyone's like, oh
well,
okay.
Yeah, okay, the little girl, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, that's not the worst that Square Enix has ever done.
It's not, but man.
It wasn't great, but I do think that, as we move the story forward and her brother enters the picture, brings her parents into the picture.
Aren't they dead?
Actually,
no, they weren't dead.
The parents aren't dead yet?
No, they were living in Garlemald.
Yep.
Are you kidding?
What do you mean?
The young boy and the young girl from the town's parents aren't dead? I thought
no. Parents, yes.
No.
Oh.
God
to try and jog her memory because they were shitbags.
Dumb shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I will give them this, right? Despite not really wanting, because I was with Nika on this, I didn't think that she needed a redemption story arc, especially because they're setting, it feels like they're setting Fredola up for one.
She didn't get one.
Ultimately. And what they had done with her up to this point, though, I was kind of starting to feel for the Suyu side of the character.
Which I mean, that's the
point.
That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know that I ever did. I mean, I think. I don't know. Like I can tell when a story is trying to emotionally manipulate me on that level,
and then you just like completely turn off. You're like, don't care about this person whatsoever.
And I think that there were enough hints that Yotsuyu was still in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
To have to, I mean, I do think that to have to go to such great lengths to pull Yotsuyu back out of Tsuyu was I mean, I guess you're maybe that's supposed to be the closest that she gets to a redemption.
Well, because here's my issue with it, or what I was hoping for with it, right? That we see this Suyu character, right? And Nika's all like, "Oh, if they give her memories back, she's going back to being evil and stuff like that." And what I was hoping they would show is that when an evil person loses their memories, they become good. If they get their old memories back, that doesn't necessarily invalidate everything that they've felt in the past days or weeks or whatever, right? She still felt all of those things. So to me, it doesn't make sense to be like, oh, well, now I remember who I am. I'm evil again, right?
Well, that's exactly what happened.
I know. That's the part of it that really sort of ticks me off. And she did have a moment where I think she kind of did get as much quote unquote redemption as she could have got. It wasn't truly a redemptive arc.
Well, I think that in an emotional way is kind of symbolized by the struggle between Xenos and Gosetsu during the fight.
Which, by the way, when he says "be gone," ... you know what he was saying.
Thought.
Yeah.
Be gone, thought.
and the way that it ended, like I'm kind of struggling with whether or not I like how it did. And I don't know how far we should go with this because of
spoilers,
potential spoilers.
Right.
But I find myself thinking like, all right, we're always criticizing Square Enix for doing one thing when they should be doing the other, right? So if I don't like how it ended and it ended that way, honestly, I think that I'm okay with it because now they're doing something that I didn't expect them to do.
Or want them to do.
But then again, they're doing it with a character that honestly doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, especially at this point, really matter.
I think the thing is that I did expect this. Like I expected exactly this, especially once I'm
Asahi.
That's right.
Asahi.
That's right. Yeah, because Asahi berries are terrible. But that's how I try to remember his name.
Gotcha.
Pronounced Akai.
But as soon as there was that moment where he kind of like shows his hand at the end of 4.2, that's, I kind of was like, okay, he's here to off his sister,
right.
Or I guess turning her, was
because remember
a little less expected, but
okay, how it unfolded was less expected. I gotcha.
Yeah.
There actually was, when they opened those boxes, I was legitimately like, oh, okay, makes sense. But all right, you surprised me with that.
When I saw those boxes, I initially thought that the Domans were going to be in there.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Like, there you go, take them, Master Stroke.
That would have been great.
That would have been, yeah. That fight, by the way, actually really cool. I really liked that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
I spent one whole day just trying to win at it.
It took us 4 attempts.
Really?
With the same group. We did have a tank leave after the 3rd attempt, and the new one came in, and we beat it. But I mean, each time it was like we wiped like 60, then 40, then 18, then
okay. So there was I mean,
none of my groups ever had progression.
I did it with a couple of LS folks, and it was fine. I mean, I think we wiped once or twice, but it was pretty easy. So
the ones I did it with were complete pugs in the morning, so I should tell you how good they were. Spoiler alert, that last phase just ends or just keeps going like pretty much forever. So you just see the fans drop, her big attack, and then stack for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, I think
is there an extreme version of this fight, or like
there has to be?
Is there
yet?
There has to be.
I mean, there isn't one in the game that you can do.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Is there? Okay,
There
I
has
just
to
didn't
be.
know.
There has to be.
I just didn't know.
I'm not sure, but I'm putting money on the fact that there is.
Well, I think the chat will let us know.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. The chat doesn't. Yeah, so they're saying
there is.
they're saying there's not an extreme fight. Chat, you're pretty dumb. I think there is an extreme fight. Chat, maybe you should get your heads checked out or something.
I mean,
Idiots.
I haven't done any of the extreme primal fights for a while.
Ditto.
So
The last one I did was like Shiva.
yeah, I think that was the last one.
The last one I did was you.
Yeah. Because I think I talked you into it. Finally.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna finally start doing these.
Ragan says there is moron.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Ragan says there is, so I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Ragan knows what he's talking about. He's Canadian.
Yeah.
French Canadian.
By the way, if you guys, I see the chat talking about the crossword link, the Crossworld link shell. You can join the Limit Break Radio Crossworld link shell, but Nika's not in it, so what the fuck's the point?
I mean, that's true.
I think that is the point in joining it.
No,
you don't have to deal with Nika.
That's true.
It's really hard to join. I'm not sure how we can.
It's a pain in the dick.
You have to, like, as far as I know, you have to like set up a party finder and then have them join the party finder, and then me has to like right click their name and add them to the link shell. Is that
think? I mean, you can also do it from like the friends list
if they're your friend.
If they're your friend, yeah.
Which the only way you could have them as your friend is if you're already in one of their parties before.
To add them as a friend.
So,
right.
Square Enix.
This is a really clunky system. This is like damn near approaching Play Online levels of like convoluted.
This is damn near approaching Nintendo Online.
This is damn near approaching.
That's it? You didn't have
No, it's actually already here.
It's damn near approaching.
Okay.
It's actually here.
Let's go back to our phone lines and talk to... Oh, God. Frumpy Raccoon. Why the fuck is Frumpy...
Frumpy Raccoon.
Frumpy Raccoon. Why are you calling?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Hey, I want to get you guys' opinion on jobs for 5.0 based on 4.3.
Oh, you're going to say Geomancer, aren't you?
I mean...
Definitely, I'm going to say Chemist, Geomancer, and Gunblade.
Okay, now I'm interested to hear your chemistry reasonings.
Now more than ever, with us going to Garlemald, they can introduce Judge.
Jesus Christ!
You don't think Evilise was the right time to introduce Judge? It's going to Garlemald.
Well, you can't do it in the middle of an expansion.
Oh my fucking
They tried
God.
that with Ninja,
and that was terrible.
It was terrible. Your job is terrible. Anyway,
his job.
His.
Yeah, his job.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's not my job.
That's what I said.
I mean, your job is terrible, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Fair.
You outlined all the reasons that it's terrible.
It's because my job is stuck in 2.0.
Anyway, I mean, I do think that Geomancer's probably a pretty good guess. There have been so many references to Geomancer.
Yeah, especially with that stupid dungeon.
Yeah. I still think, I mean, I don't think that we're getting tons of clues, and I don't think that we're going to get as many as 3. But I think
we're getting 2, and we're getting 2 DPS.
I think we're getting 2. I think we're getting 2 as well, and I think Geomancer and I think Blue Mage.
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Blue Mage in.
Yeah, Blue Mage is too easy to do.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think they're going to do it.
Why?
I just have a feeling. I think they're going to let those stupid blue mages wallow in their own self-pity a little longer.
So you guys don't think like the whole Gunblade thing is just like the red mage in what was it 3.3 or 3.4?
Yeah, see that's what I was actually
kind of thing.
That's what I was going to talk about is that fight you do as the other person. With your ally companion. God, fucking knows.
We're fast forwarding a little bit here,
but there's a duty.
Anyway, yeah. The last duty that you do in the MSQ.
His stance is not like anyone else that we've seen, correct? Because it may possibly be Dark Knight's, because he holds it kind of like off to the side, like behind him, kind of. But I don't think it's Dark Knight. But again, I don't have.
It's a unique stance.
It's a unique stance.
You don't think they just made it for his character? You think that it has to be used as a new job going forward?
Hang on. All of those animations were based off of the previous fight that character has been in, has it not?
Probably.
I don't know, they had some pretty unique like X animations. That's the only reason I was thinking that, because he did some pretty unique moves that I've never seen before.
I mean, maybe
we have seen those before, though.
Yeah, when we fought him.
Spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying really difficult.
Bring it back 4 years for that.
Yes, granted, you gotta remember back, but yeah, there is, if you like try and maybe this is hinting a little bit too much of who we think it is, but Q for main duty main scenario roulette,
possibly Praetorium.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have a 50-50 shot of getting Praetorium, and if you happen to do Praetorium, you'll remember some of those animations, I think.
Except can he live long enough to do them? You may have to solo queue that.
Oh, Jesus. I never thought about that. Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, it caps you at 50, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, so you should be able to be alive for long enough to see it.
Thanks for ruining the joke, Nika.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think, but going along with that, I think Gun Mage, being that we're going to Garlemald, I think having a Gun Mage or a Garlean type job, I think that's pretty high on the list.
There is a possibility. There's a possibility for sure.
That's in my top running.
But I just don't. What do you call it? Like what?
Ugh, that's a judge.
A judge. I fucking hate you.
No,
I hate you.
I mean,
no, seriously, legit. What do you call it though?
I have no idea.
Gun Mage.
Gun Mage?
Gun Sword Guy?
It would have to be, I feel like it would
be a Gun Sword Guy?
Okay, it would be a new, probably job that they would have to create for FF.
Yeah, 14. Which isn't unheard of, thanks, Astrologian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it would have whatever, like, Greek stupid name they are, like Levaticus or whatever the hell they'll call it.
I don't know. I don't think that even though we're going to Garlemald, yes, okay, I could see them doing that, but I also don't think they need to, because I think what would be more likely, and I guess they could still do this even if they introduce a job through Garlemald, is that we are going to get armor sets and weapons that are Garlemald inspired. So I can look forward to gun daggers.
Well, yeah.
Scholars will get gun books.
I mean, you could... Gun staves?
Gun fists for monks, yeah.
Gun, sword, and shield.
They're coming.
Wait, gun fists are just like guns.
No, except like when you punch, they I don't know what to tell you, man.
That's just a gun. Like the butt of a gun.
So I was getting a drink, but I need to roll it back on something. Did I just hear you call a Legatus a Leviticus or something?
It's close enough.
Is that what you... Okay,
you did,
all right. I'm just checking.
L-E-G and then like an us at the end. It fits.
Isn't a machinist just the gun user?
Well, yeah, but it's just a gun. It's a gun. We need like a different gun weapon. A gun hammer, perhaps. Gun shields, if it's a tank job. Dual wielding, of course. Dude, how cool would a dual wielding gun shield would be?
I mean, it does seem like in the overall conflict that we are moving towards... more Dragon Ball Z like plot points, if I can be vague about that. Okay, right? So to have a quote unquote Garlean job would make sense with 5.0, right?
Yeah,
right.
I think it does. So,
but okay, hold on. But real quick, Frumpy, what is your reasoning for chemist? Because I can't see that.
Oh, the chemist thing. I just thought it was funny because like you went on and on about that forever, and then they named the healer set in the Swallow's Compass chemist.
Oh, really did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like chemist gloves, chemist all this that.
Yeah, I still don't think we're going to see a chemist.
No,
probably not. But it kind of gave me a little jollies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, Frumpy Raccoon. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. If you want to call Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715. LimitBreakRadio.com/Discord. We'd love to hear from you and your thoughts about 4.3. As we move on, so after the Yotsuyu stuff concludes, right? We then now get to redirect our attention because we've heard Xenos is still alive.
Right.
We didn't just hear, we saw through the echo.
Well, that is true. That is true. That we now return to Alamigo.
By the way, did anyone else let out an audible like "what the fuck" when you know who wanted to go with you know what?
Yeah, not really.
Really? Because when he said that, I was like, "What?"
I will say this: I was rather surprised, only because I thought we would get a scene of him arriving. But
the way that they went, I have some theories isn't the right word.
Predictions?
No, because I know it's not going to happen.
Hunches.
Let's say wishes, a wild dream. If Square Enix were to handle this correctly, the burn, right, would be a whole new zone that they add for us to end up going to.
And why though? Like, do you really want to go adventuring in the burn?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool things that they could put in there And the fact that, first of all,
like sand,
World of Warcraft did it recently to great effect. And the fact that, and normally I would have been like, there's no way that they would be able to pull off putting in like a whole new zone like midway through an expansion. But when you look at what they've done with the Eureka Zone and how well that was created, I think that if they wanted to, they could. Right? And if the fact that this little story that we're seeing, these cutscenes, if we just get to see a few cutscenes of them, ending up there and walking through it and then, that's it. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
that's going to be real disappointing.
That's what I'm sort of expecting, because I had the complete opposite point of view on that. I thought that they had created that part of the map in order to serve that
purpose,
one function in the story.
I mean, that's more in their wheelhouse.
And they made it the waste so that they could take, the Sogoli Desert and just, bleach it white.
Make it whiter.
And there you go. Done.
I mean, that is definitely in Square Enix's wheelhouse, and I 100% think that that's it.
I mean, because the other option is that they end up crashing in a place that has things in it. And you have to design all of those things, right?
Designing things is hard.
Right?
Up until this point, have we heard anything about this area called the Burn?
No.
Because I mean, they said in the cutscene that upon seeing this, some emperor, that was the reason that Garlemald adopted the whole all icons must die.
I mean, that's
honestly,
true.
I think that if they put their mind to it and had good writers, that could they turn an area like that into something exciting to explore and put some interesting things out there? Sure. Can this Square Enix do it? No.
I mean, I don't know. I felt like the Burn was a little bit of a cop-out, because I would have been interested to see any other zone than just the White Desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have been interested to know what exists in terms of the terrain around Garlemald. I'm very interested in the map and the world of Eorzea.
I mean, Shadowhunter's been out there doing some shit, so it must not be too boring.
Seems like it, yeah.
Please look forward to it.
So we go back to Doma, find the body that we're looking for is missing, and then
back to Alamigo.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Which, by the way, whoever dug that grave, wow, are you lazy? Let's just put a rock over and hope nobody touches it.
Remember when people were yelling at us saying that it's just a rock, it's not even a grave? Remember when that happened? No, you weren't here. I'm not talking to you. Remember that, Kahlo?
I don't know.
Yeah, when we were going through the trailer.
Okay, we were,
and people said it wasn't a grave.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were like, it's just a rock.
Right. Okay, yeah.
It's just a planning meeting.
And we were definitely right though about because they made sure to reinforce that. Oh no, he nearly cut his head off. Oh no, we definitely inspected him. Oh no,
right.
He was dead.
Yeah, no, they made that fairly clear,
abundantly clear.
Okay, so while we're checking out the grave, we get observed by
someone.
An Elvon?
He definitely looks Elvon.
He's got the long ears on the hood, on the resistance.
Or Elizin, rather. Sorry, yeah, whatever.
I mean, yeah.
And sort of like the gauntness of his cheeks, that is an Elizin.
Yeah, it's Elizin.
100%. I would bet my balls on it.
110%.
Okay.
I'd bet twice his balls on it.
So,
who is it?
I mean, because
at this point we're speculating, right?
Right, yeah, because he goes to the scrap heap and flies away in the kind of ridiculous,
Final Fantasy VI inspired Magitech armor,
which would make me think that up until this point he was stuck there for some reason. Right?
But the thing is though, he's got Xenos' sword.
He does, and
it looked like maybe even technique as well. I mean, could it be a protege of Xenos?
It could just be a samurai.
You think?
Could be.
Yeah, because he collected blades that were supposed to be powerful and shit, right?
Yeah, and presumably Xenos doesn't have his special swords anymore because we killed him and looted the body, like good adventurers.
Well, I mean, Ook brings up a good point in the chat. It's also got his smirk, too. I think that guy's Xenos.
You think?
Yeah. I don't think that those are ears. I think that may be something else.
I mean, it's
I mean, because he is a taller Hume, right? So maybe they just had that's just the equipment they had to put on him.
Maybe
he is buff. Why would he be dressed up as a resistance just to try to survive?
How did he come back alive?
How did he get the sword?
I don't know.
There's nothing about this that I like.
Xenos wouldn't be the type to like be undercover and just trying to survive. He would be like, all right, I got my sword. I'm going to kill all of you because I'm Xenos.
I mean, he's not really undercover. The minute that he found out that the Scions are onto him, I mean, he made his move. He's off and away. We don't know where he was going. True. So, you know, I mean, he may have been just trying to lie low and let the heat die off.
I guess.
But he was dead. This wasn't just like, oh, okay, he killed himself. Let's just leave the body and just dump it somewhere. Like they said, like they looked at it, they inspected it, like
the neck was split open.
Straight up, he's dead.
Clearly, he used the salt-entropic enzyme polymer to rid himself.
What if he's got a healing factor, like Wolverine?
Does he have the Echo? Was he transfused with the Echo before?
The Echo doesn't heal you.
I mean, Echo can do anything.
I mean, the Echo can give you plot armor, I think.
The Echo can give you, like, plot armor like the Warrior Light. It can give you prophecy power like Cryo. Does she have prophecy power?
But giving you Wolverine powers?
It's possible.
Was anyone else?
The Echo is the de facto ex machina for this game. It can do whatever Square Enix wants it to do.
Was anyone else slightly curious about what was written on the grave? Because we got references that it was defaced more than a few times and somebody had scrawled something on it.
Now, see, if that ends up being some type of, like, magic or something that resurrected him, it still seems lazy, but it's one of the better theories that I've heard.
Traz thinks it has something to do with Garlean tech.
Garlean tech? Come on.
I mean, I don't know that important Garleans keep coming back from the dead. Although the final scene of this patch would suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, one of our companions decides to disembark from our party and go with, let's just call it the enemy, right?
Right.
And while they're en route, they run into some problems.
They get attacked.
Right. Yeah. And the last... the last confrontation, the last duty that you play as, you don't actually play as your own character.
You're role playing.
Yeah,
that's the buff. It says
really?
Oh my god, does it?
Shit?
It says role playing. That's the title of the buff, and you are pretending, or you are role playing as someone else.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this last big plot point, and everyone is really
going crazy over this,
focusing on this
because this is like the most interesting part of Final Fantasy
to date.
Yeah. Can we just spoil what it is?
No, I mean,
say why we're all super interested in.
Well, we're super interested in the character of Shadowhunter.
Shadowhunter is
we can say
what the game calls him.
We can say what it showed in that very last scene, right?
What's on his belt?
Yeah.
Ascian masks.
Right.
4 blacks, 2 reds, and a white mask.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure what the difference between them is.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know.
And it is straight up implied that he is hunting them.
Yes.
And so those are his trophies.
Right.
So he's killed Ascians before.
Right.
Whereas
it is also heavily implied that this is someone that we know.
We've killed 1 Ascian, and it was a pain in the dick.
We've killed 2.
No, we killed 1, Thornton killed the other.
Is that true?
Yeah, because we only had 1 Auracite that we were able, and fucking Moonbreed had to die for us to even make it.
Didn't we kill the female Ascian right before Thoradin?
We killed one of them because we only had the one Auracite.
We didn't kill the one that we were at Ultima with, or did we?
Yeah.
Right. So,
okay, hold on. We know that he's bested Ascians and took their masks. We don't know if he's actually killed them, though.
That's true.
He said that he hunts those, and then he throws the masks down.
Yeah.
So to me, that's implying I hunt these, and I got these because they were dead. Oh, I hunt them by just taking their masks.
Well, I mean, you killed the body and you take the mask, but that doesn't mean you've killed the essence of an Ascian.
Yeah, well, maybe it could be something that he either knows or doesn't know. Don't know.
We do know that through Elidibus, right? That you can basically kill an Ascian, but not kill their essence.
Right. In order to keep them from coming back, you need the Auracite to trap them.
Correct.
So to really kill them.
Well, maybe we don't need the Auracite. Maybe Shadowhunter
has found the way.
Has found it.
What?
God damn it.
Jesus.
I can't believe you didn't say "do way."
I mean,
so whatever.
I should have.
Anyway, so a lot being made about this very last plot point, and it seems like everyone is universally praising it as well. I was not that impressed with this last plot point.
Really?
Well, nobody dies in Eorzea ever, do they?
Okay. Now here's one of the things that I want to point out here, because you're right. It does suck that nobody can stay dead. But when a certain character, quote unquote, dies, like them coming back not actually being dead, I think is a valid plot point in a world where it doesn't fucking happen to everyone, right? So let's look at this all by itself and not, keeping in mind that Square Enix does this all the fucking time. It on its own is actually a pretty interesting turn of events.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we never saw the body.
True.
Which means that he's always alive.
And for the first time, I feel like the story's actually pushing us in a direction that I'm interested to see where the fuck it's going.
It does feel a little bit like it's starting to come full circle. Mm-hmm. That some of these things that feel like they don't make sense or that they're dangling plot threads might actually get shored up, which would be nice. I think that's what I would want from this point out of FF14.
I would be a lot more engaged.
I just don't know how much I expect it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I wouldn't go in and really expecting anything.
Yeah.
That's definitely where I'm sitting at. I would feel a lot better about Stormblood as a whole if this patch was 4.1.
I mean, I think that's probably fair. Again, I don't know why it took till 4.3 to get here.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, we didn't do anything of note in 4.1 and 4.2.
Yeah, so again, having skipped over 4.1 and 4.2, but having played 4.3, I don't feel like I missed anything. I mean, maybe I have missed anything, but guess what? Everything's holding up just fine.
I mean, 4.2 basically put Raoban in charge of Alamigo.
I thought Lise was in charge of Alamigo.
He
hands it off to Lise.
Yeah. They're like together.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's in charge of the army or whatever.
So he's doing the same thing in Alamigo that he did with the Sultana.
Basically, and he's going to put Lise on his shoulder.
Okay, so Lise is his Sultana. Gotcha.
Tickle the butthole. What happened in 4.1?
We got to listen to the Sultana cry.
No, that was 4.2.
We mocked Fordola in her jail cell.
That was 4.2.
I thought that was 4.1.
What was 4? You know what? 4.1 must have happened in Doma, because then we came to Alamigo, or 4.1 in Doma, because 4.2 is Alamigo, 4.3 is Doma.
Don't say shit.
They like to they jump back and forth.
I don't think that's what that was.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
So what the fuck happened in 4.1?
I don't have an idea.
That was when we got Omega 2, right? Like with Doom Train and stuff?
That was
4.2?
That was
motherfucker.
Yeah.
4.1 was Alamigo. Oh, so that was with when they were like trying to reestablish the government.
That was when the other dude with the Echo, when the Echo dude came to us, was like, "Hey guys, let's go on a treasure hunt."
Yeah,
that's what 4.1 was. It was the treasure hunt.
Vani says that 4.1 was mocking Fordola because they haven't done 4.2.
With Shalakshi in the throne room.
Yeah.
And then 4.2,
right.
Was
right, because that whole Lakshmi in the throne room, when I got to that point having skipped stuff, I was like, oh wait, this actually seems interesting. So I started
what did I miss?
I started watching cutscenes again, and then it rolled into, because we were at 4.2 at that point, it rolled into the fucking Sultana stuff, and I was like, motherfucker, they baited me. Yeah.
No wonder it took so long. I feel like all of that stuff should have happened in one patch.
Yeah, did all of that stuff even need 4.1 through 2?
Did it even actually
have to happen?
Yeah.
Take the Fordola stuff and roll it into what we just had with 4.3, and that should have been your 4.1. And then maybe people wouldn't be bored with your fucking game.
It's fair.
Well, I think that's going to be it for Limit Break Radio this week.
That's it for Limit Break Radio this week.
I mean, that's it. That's it for 4.3.
I mean, it is.
That's it for Limit Break Radio this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But what about the? Okay.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What do we miss?
Nothing.
Christ has died. Christ has died. Juxta has risen. Bang Mage will come again.
He's
Walk steady in his light. Warriors of light. Tor be banged by his most holy Mr. Position. Amen. Hashtag cult.
Jesus Christ.
Not cult. It's Church of the Holy.
No, it's a cult. Look, if Far Cry 5 has taught me anything, you can call it whatever the fuck you want. This is a cult.
That's a cult.
You're a cult.
No.
Anyway, I want to thank our callers today, Viviana and Frumpy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should still after that donation, but I will. Thank you guys for calling in and for expressing your opinions about patch 4.3. It's been an interesting discussion, and hopefully 4.4 will be a little bit more interesting in terms of the narrative department.
In like 3 months.
Oh, praise Nika.
What?
I don't know.
No.
I don't even know why you would. But that's going to be it for Limit Break Radio this week. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We always appreciate you tuning in and for calling in. And if you're listening on the podcast and you want to be a part of the show, listen in on Sundays over at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. And